Hi, it's me again with Corel Tips and Tricks. And somebody sent me this pattern and asked how you could draw this. I see that it's made up of six-sided polygons with kind of a star, and they've separated the star or the triangle. So we're going to get a six-sided polygon and hold down the control button to make it perfect. Size does not matter right now. And then it's in the center of the page because I hit P. We're going to make a triangle. We're going to go from the center outwardly and from that node back to the center. And then on this one, we're going to find the midpoint and go to that node right there. I am going to use a blue, and I'm going to fill both those in. Now, select just that one, get your interactive fill tool, kind of go up and sideways, and then put some black in there. Actually, that's pretty good. We don't want just a little bit of black. Take this one, select it, interactive fill tool, and go from there to there and put a little black in it. A little bit too much black so you can move that handle. That looks pretty good. Control G to group that together. Control D to duplicate it. Double click on the rotation and move it to the center of the page. Rotate it 30 degrees. Or 60 degrees, sorry. Control D, Control D, Control D, Control D. Pretty good. Now let's take away the outline. We can see a little white, so we're going to make the outline in blue. Now, in the original drawing, there was some, the polygon was black. So now we're going to use the Smart Fill tool to make an outline. And we're going to left click, right click, go up to Object, break curve apart, grab our rectangle and hit delete. Now let's make this a little bit darker or a little bit bigger than a hairline and then just nudge it back. That is going to give us that black outline. It's not quite thick enough yet. Let's make it, that's too much. And they might have even blurred it. We could do that with effects, blur, Gaussian blur. That's way too much. There we go. Now, it doesn't matter, really what size you start with. We're going to Control G to group that together, and we're going to make this side 2 inches. Matter of fact, let's make this side 2 inches. Now, you see that our line has gotten thicker, so we need to grab that line and double click on and go scale with object. So then when we make it smaller, it will work. So we really want this one to be 2 inches. I don't know why it's doing there we go, now it's 2 inches. Now we can set our nudge factor on 2 inches. Control D and make a duplicate, and it's matching it up perfectly. You know what, it's not. Tell you what, let's see does it still have an outline on it? It still does. You know what, it's the fuzziness of the line that's causing that. So let's go to Object, Group and Ungroup. And let's just take this line away for a minute. See, it's only 1.92. So with that selected, let's move that over. No, it's 2 inches. But see, this is 1.92, so we need to make this 2 inches. Now nudge our line back. Might not even be able to see it because it's probably behind the fill, and it is. It's all because we've nudged it or because we fuzzied it up. Might be the problem. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Let's make it, that's too much. There we go. Now let's see what size it is. And see, when you're doing something like this, Corel is taking the line is like a, what we could do? We got the line. Let's change the line to an object. Won't let us because when we nudge 2 inches now, it's leaving a space. So what we need to do is just start over. And we're going to take, sorry about that, just wasn't thinking about it. Smart fill tool, fill that in. I'm going to do this time it differently. I'm going to fill in that. And then I can left click, right click, and we got our line. Let's don't fuzzy it up this time. Whoop. But let's go with object. Maybe it wasn't so much. Now we can group this together. Control G and make it 2 inches. Now let's see if it works. For those of you who don't watch enough of my video, I do that a lot. There we go. That's working now. And then just make as many as your heart's content. So just Control D, Control D, Control D. Let's call that good enough. Now group this together. I'm going to hit P, which doesn't really matter, but put it in the center of the page. And then we can take this one, Control D and make a duplicate and grab that point right there and have it, evidently I didn't make a copy. So let's take that point right there and have it snap to that. Now we can Control D to our heart's content. Mine looks a little bit different than theirs. Let's make it a little bit thicker so we can group that together. Control G, Control D, make a duplicate of it, move that one. And if you have snap to object, it should snap right to it. Zoom in a little bit. You need to grab that one node on that corner. There we go. Now, mine's a little bit different than theirs, but I can still see the stars. Let's group all this together. Control G. And now let's take an ellipse and put it in the center of that. Let's make it a little bit bigger by holding down the Shift key. Just make sure you can get it all. Barely, can't really get it all, so Shift key backward. Now select it all and intersect it. And by doing that, we have that effect. Now they used a darker blue than I did, but I think it's the same. Let's, instead of making mine small, let's make this one bigger. Pretty close. I could have put a dark line between them, but that's how it was probably done. Anyway, I hope that helped a little bit. Thank you for watching.